Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Take the Next Step sessions for international students. My name is Tina McDonald, and I'm the Director of International Admission here at the College of Charleston. I want to start by saying a big congratulations to you all for making it this far. It is quite a feat to go through the U.S. university application process, which is often so different from the process in your home countries, and to not only make it through this process, but make it as an admitted student. So big congratulations to you all, and we're all very proud of your accomplishments. I want to take a moment to have each of my colleagues on this call introduce themselves, and then we'll get started right away with the information that we have for you today. Stephanie?
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Stephanie Palumbo. I am the International Programs Coordinator in the Center for International Education. So we will be supporting you once you are here on campus and even before you arrive, just to make sure that you have the most successful transition possible and the best time at College of Charleston.
And Alex.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alex Katsikaris. I'm an international student ambassador from Athens, Greece. I'm a senior this year, and I'm a psychology major.
Great. And you all have been admitted to one of the most historic, beautiful, but also highly regarded institutions in the United States. So to help give you a sense of what life is like at the College of Charleston, we have a few questions that we're going to ask Alex, so he can give you some personal insight as to what life is like as an international student at the College of Charleston. So Alex, our first question for you, can you tell us why you chose to enroll at College of Charleston?
Yeah, so the simple answer to this question I always give people is because it felt right for me. It felt like home since the first time I ever toured the campus. The city and the campus are both beautiful. The people are kind and very helpful, and the atmosphere of College of Charleston really allows the students to flourish and take advantage of any opportunities that are given to us. The College of Charleston is also in the middle of the city, which allows you to walk around and explore it very easily. And the fact that College of Charleston is a liberal arts school really allows students to develop and grow as people and acquire beneficial skills like critical thinking.
Wonderful. Thank you, Alex. And then getting into more of campus life at College of Charleston, can you tell us what is a typical day like for you, and maybe the ratio of the time spent in class versus your free time, and how do you spend your free time as a student here?
Yeah, so the day-to-day changes a little bit, but a typical day for me at College of Charleston, I usually like to have my classes a little early. So I'll have classes in the morning for about 2 to 4 hours, depends on the day. Then I usually will go to the library for a few and do some schoolwork. And then I'll usually exercise later in the evening, whether that be going to the campus gym or playing tennis or basketball in the intramural courts. After that, I will occasionally go to dinner with friends since Charleston's a beautiful city and the campus is in the heart of it. It's really easy to navigate your way downtown. And there are a lot of great restaurants, streets for shopping, fun nightlife, and 3 beaches that are 10 to 15-minute drive away. So there's a lot to do here.
Great. And Alex, I know that you are leaving us soon because you'll be graduating after 4 years here. And are you able to share with us a favorite memory that you have about being a College of Charleston student?
If I had to pick a favorite College of Charleston memory, I would honestly say being a part of the international student community and having this position through which I've met some really cool people during the admissions process. I've really enjoyed my role as an international student ambassador, in which I'm giving the opportunity to welcome new students and further expand our international community.
Well, that's great. Thank you, Alex. And to end, do you have any advice for new international students now that you've been here for 4 years and really know what it takes and what it's like as a student here?
Yeah, so my main piece of advice I give to incoming students in general is to be open-minded and to never be afraid to reach out, whether that be starting a new conversation with someone you don't know or asking a classmate for help. Everyone's on the same boat when they come to college for the first time, which is just looking to meet new people and make new friends. I also think it's important to be open-minded in terms of putting yourself out there, trying new things and saying yes to new opportunities. And then more specifically for international students, my main piece of advice would be to always use the resources offered by the school. If there's ever anything that you may need help with, don't be afraid to reach out. There are a lot of people willing and wanting to help you out. So make sure you take advantage of that.
It's great advice. I do think it's so important for new students, no matter if you're a US citizen or coming from the other side of the world, everyone's in the same boat, like you said. And we have so many resources and departments on campus. If you ever need any assistance or have questions, don't be afraid to speak up. That's really good advice. All right, and if there's any questions for Alex in particular, you'll see my email address here, but please also put any questions in the chat. And this is throughout the presentation, but if you have specific questions for Alex, you can please type them now and we'll be sure to get to them at the end. Thank you. All right, so now I'm going to transition into your next steps as an admitted international student. And all of you may be in various stages throughout this process of choosing where you will attend university. And we do hope that you will become a CFC Cougar, a CFC student. And to help you with those next steps, I'm going to talk about this website that we have specifically for you as an admitted student, and these 11 next steps that we have listed out to make sure that you know that you're doing the right thing and taking all the necessary steps to confirm your enrollment. Again, if you have any questions throughout this process, feel free to type them in the chat. We'll be happy to help you. Okay, so there is a lot of information in this part of the process, but we're going to try and condense it and really make it easy for you to know what to do next. So a lot of it has to do with login information, and knowing your CFC credentials is a crucial part to two things: to logging into my portal and to submitting your enrollment deposit if you haven't already. So in order to do that, you will need to know your CFC ID number. This is an 8-digit ID number, and if you don't know that yet, it's actually located directly within your online acceptance letter. So you can log into your CFC application portal where you viewed your admissions decision. And within your acceptance letter, it will clearly state what your CFC ID, we also call it a CWID, college-wide ID number is. Feel free to email me if you aren't able to find your CFC ID number. Using this ID number, you are going to create a first-time initial password that is described here. Now we create this unique password for each student so that they can log in initially the first time. After you do this the first time, you will create a confidential password that only you know. Again, what you see here listed on this webpage is just for your first time login using your CWID number, your birth date, and the capital A and an exclamation point. So this allows you to log into my portal. And I have a sample of what my portal looks like here. And we call my portal like your main business center at the College of Charleston. So as a CFC student, my portal is going to be your main go-to for almost everything that you need to do to register for classes, to pay your bill, access your student email account. All of that is housed within the secure portal and allows you to really conduct your business as a College of Charleston student. So we have these, what we call tiles here. And again, mine looks a little different from what yours may look like since I'm an employee here, but a lot of it is very similar. So I do encourage you to log into my portal if you have not already, play around with it. And there's a lot of important information in here that you will need not only as an admitted student, but once you are a current student at the College of Charleston. Okay, so paying your non-refundable enrollment deposit, this is a $400 non-refundable enrollment deposit. This is also done via my portal, and it's done via the e-bill section here. There's specific instructions here on how to do this. But please know in the meantime that the non-refundable enrollment deposit is what reserves your seat or your spot in the class for fall 23. In the US, typically May 1st is what we call our national deposit deadline. Most US universities will require that you make a deposit by May 1st at the school that you choose to enroll at. That's how we know that you intend to enroll at our institution. And again, that's what saves your spot in the class. This is also a crucial part of the international student process because this is what triggers the process of issuing your Form I-20. Okay, again, since this is what confirms for us that you plan to enroll as a student here. As I said before, you'll be able to log into your CFC email account once you have logged into my portal with your credentials, and also complete your housing application. That's also done through my portal. There is a separate on-campus housing application. There's a $50 fee for that, and as this says, log into my portal and click on the My Housing Dining tile. There has been a separate session on the process of filling out the housing application and the College of Charleston process for selecting a roommate and your individual residence hall on campus. That took place on March 30th, just a few days ago. So I highly encourage you, if you are planning to live on campus, I highly encourage you to look up that recording of the session, which is on our YouTube channel, and really see it, or really learn for yourself in detail how that process works. Some things to note: we get a lot of questions from US citizens and international students about living on campus. Is it required? Is it guaranteed for all 4 years? First of all, it is not required, but we do highly recommend that international students live on campus for at least their first year. It really helps you acclimate to our campus. It really helps you make friends. You're able to take part in activities, in residence hall programming, and really have easy access to all the departments and resources that are physically located on our campus. It's a great way to immediately make new friends and, again, to acclimate to our city and campus, and really often make some of the best friends that you'll have for the rest of your life by the fact that you were roommates your first year of university. So it is not required, as I said. You're more than welcome to live off campus if you wish. Please do note, though, that if you choose to live off campus, we don't offer any assistance in locating your off-campus housing. So that would be a process that you go through individually. Okay, orientation. This is a very important part of being a new student and learning about all that you need to do to register for classes. We do have two different types of orientations for international students, for F1 international students. The first one is our general new student orientation. And this is for all incoming students, regardless of what your citizenship status is. We then also have a specific F1 international student orientation, which takes place about 5 days before the start of classes in August. So you will actually arrive early on campus by August 18th in order to take part in this specific F1 international student orientation. And we'll talk a little bit more about that with Stephanie and CIE in a minute. But in the meantime, you can definitely check out our general student orientation, our new student orientation website here, and find the dates and registration information for that. Oops. Okay, the next two steps on our oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, the next two steps on our checklist are for transcripts and incoming credit. Number 6 is for university transcripts for international transfer students. This is for students that are transferring from another university, whether it's in the US or outside of the US, And we do require that you submit your final official university transcript if you've not already done that with your application. This is how we grant you the appropriate incoming transfer credit. So please make sure to send that to us before the start of classes so that we can update your transfer credit evaluation appropriately. For any for any first year students that have advanced standing credit, whether this is AP credit that you've taken in high school, IB, International Baccalaureate credit, or A-level exam credit, please make sure to send those final transcripts and final exam scores to us as well. We have a section on our website. If you search for credit by exam, you'll be able to see exactly what specific scores are required in these specific classes and curricula to grant you advanced standing credit. So again, make sure to send that as soon as possible so that we can update your advanced standing credit accordingly. On that note, we also require final official high school transcripts. Ideally, we'll have those sent to us by your high school before you start classes. The reason we require this, and it must be sent directly from your school in order to be considered official. The reason we require this is because this is your proof of high school graduation. So this is how we know that you have successfully graduated from high school. Again, we may have some of this from you already if you are a transfer student or if you are a student who applied after already graduating from high school. But if not, if you're graduating in May or June, then please make sure to have your school send us your official final transcript over the summer. We also require official test scores. So if you have not already submitted your official SAT, ACT, IELTS, TOEFL, or Duolingo test scores with your application, please do so at this time or as soon as possible. And note that this is also a requirement for issuing your Form I-20. If English wasn't your native language when you applied, then we did require an English proficiency test score, and we'll require the official test record sent from the testing agency if that wasn't already included in your application. Okay, and immunization forms. Every US university has their unique immunization requirements, and you can see what College of Charleston requires here. This is a step that I do recommend starting early. Sometimes it can be a little hectic to get all of your immunization records submitted to us before the start of classes, and you will have a hold on your account if you are not in compliance with these vaccines by the time classes start. Make sure that you have your immunization records translated to English if they're not issued in the English language to begin with, and there are uploading instructions via our Office of Student Health Services on this link right here. But again, this is something I do recommend starting earlier than later. You'll see here the COVID vaccine is not a requirement for the college, but please note for those of you that will be coming from outside of the US, it is a requirement to enter the United States. All right, and I mentioned the Form I-20 and F1 student visa information a little earlier when I talked about submitting the enrollment deposit. And as I said, that is the trigger for us to start the I-20 process. And I'm going to quickly go over what the documents are required to receive your Form I-20. Usually we send a request for these via email at the moment that you have deposited. And then after I go over this, I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Stephanie in our Center for International Education, who will talk a little bit about the next steps after you've received your I-20. All right, so the Form I-20 is a form that is issued by a US university, which authorizes your admission to the university that you are intending to enroll at, your English proficiency, and your proof of funding. So we talked a little bit about the proof of English proficiency, and I'm going to go into explaining the certificate of finance form next. This is how we prove your proof of funding for your time spent in the United States as a full-time student at the College of Charleston. So we have what's called a International Certificate of Finance form. This is a 2-page form that you'll be required to complete. The first page requests your personal information, and it also outlines the specific estimated cost of attendance for the upcoming 2023-2024 academic year. So you can see that amount broken down here by tuition, living expenses, books and supplies, health insurance, and fees. So this is the total amount listed here. And typically this information here, the family member information, is not filled in. It's quite rare for an undergraduate student to bring a family member to the US, but that's there for often graduate students. On the second page, you'll see where our sources of funding is outlined. So this is where you would indicate where the proof of funding is coming from in order to fund your educational expenses while you are a student in the United States. If you received a College of Charleston Merit Scholarship, and that would be indicated in your online acceptance letter if you did, that amount will be filled in for you here, and that would be subtracted from this total amount of $57,041. So say, for example, you received a $5,000 merit scholarship, then we would subtract that amount from this total here. So you would be required to show proof of funding for the remaining approximately $52,000. So you would indicate on this chart if that funding is coming from your own personal bank account, family funds. This is typically the most common that we see, a parent or guardian's bank account. And there's also an option for government funds or scholarships and other, which may be a loan or something like that. In order to verify this information, we require a bank letter or a bank statement, and the statement must be within the previous 12 months, and it must be in English. It must show liquid funds, so funds that are available for immediate withdrawal, and both you, the student, and the holder of the funds or the owner of the bank account must complete this information here. So again, all of this information will be requested of you via email by myself once you submit your non-refundable enrollment deposit, and I and our Center for International Education will then work with you to complete the documentation required for this and issue your Form I-20. Your Form I-20 will be emailed to you, and it will contain a CVIS ID number. And that CVIS ID number is what you will then use to apply for your F1 visa appointment at your local US embassy or consulate. Before I hand it off to Stephanie, one thing I'll note is that this process is a little different for students that already have an F1 visa and are already in the United States. In that case, we would do what's called a CVIS transfer. This financial documentation is still required, but we would issue you what is called a transfer I-20 in order to enroll at the College of Charleston instead of a new initial I-20. All right. So that is it for me, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And Stephanie, you should be able to share your screen.
It is not letting me pull up my screen.
Okay, try now, Stephanie.
Yep, there we go.
Okay, good.
Thanks. All right, here we go. So here you can see now I am just on the main page of the Center for International Education's website. So that is international.cfc.edu. What you're going to do is scroll down here and you would click on international students. We have a lot of really great information here to help guide you through the process. And once you've been admitted, you could click on this new students link here on the left-hand side. So you'll see here even more tiles full of information that you can access. So steps to guide you through applying for that F1 visa. We have the links to where you can pay your CFC fee, instructions on making your visa interview appointments, and a little overview of what that interview process looks like. And then we also have information about your arrival, our mandatory international students orientation. Also, it is mandatory that you have health insurance. So we offer a plan that you can enroll in, but you can also submit your existing health insurance information to the system to request a waiver out of our plan. It just has to meet all the requirements listed on the website. So that's all in there. And then what I'm going to do is really go through the new student online course. So once you have paid that deposit and been issued your CFC email address and your learner record here, we will enroll you in a course on our online course system, which is called CofC. So you access that through my portal, which Tina showed you earlier. This course is called CFC Incoming International F1 Students. So that is you. And you'll go ahead and click on content right here at the top. And this will give you, even more information about actually coming here and starting off your time at CFC. So there is a guide to the CofC course that just talks through what is included in each module. And then it'll walk you through step by step what you need to do before you arrive. So students this year will be arriving on August 16th, 2023. We ask that you arrive on that day because we do provide a shuttle service from the Charleston International Airport to campus. But that is the only day we are able to offer that service. So if you are not arriving on Wednesday, August 16th, we will not be able to provide you that transportation, and you would need to arrange it on your own. Students might notice when they're applying for housing that this day is before the official move-in date. That is okay. We work with housing to get you early move-in access so that you have a couple days to get here and settle in before we jump right into the start of classes. So as soon as you have booked your flight, go ahead into CofC and register your travel plans so that we know when we need to come pick you up. Again, there's more information in here about applying for your visa. And then there's information about our mandatory orientation. So as international students who are degree seeking at the college, you will need to attend the regular new student orientation that you can register for through new student programs. And then you also need to attend our international student orientation. So our orientation will take place on Friday, August 18th. And some of it might overlap or have a bit of a time conflict with new student programs orientation, but that is okay. I promise you that we will communicate with them so that you don't miss anything important with them and you don't miss anything important with us. We always manage to compare our schedules and make sure that you're in the right place at the right time. There's also information about paying your e-bill. And then we do also have a great program, the Cougar Ambassadors. So those are current College of Charleston students who are matched up with you to help you, during that transition to College of Charleston. They're basically here to be that first friendly face, that peer that you can ask any questions you might have. And so we have a form here that you can fill out. It does say to complete the introduction form by this Friday, but if you don't have access to the CofC course yet, that's okay. I'll email out the link to all those who have paid their deposits. And then as we continue to get more students committing to College of Charleston, I'll still follow up with you as well. So you won't miss out on this opportunity if you don't submit the form by this Friday. But just when you do fill out the form, give us as much information as possible because we'll try to match you up with a current student based on shared interests. We also have some great resources about packing, electronics, and then there'll be more information about different offices on campus. Also just life on campus, so housing, meal plans, things like that. We do also have international student resources. So if you need to schedule appointments with me or with our director, Melissa Ochel, she is the other person in our office that will be working with you closely. There's a link to do that, and also additional information for when you are finally here on campus. Another thing I do want to point out is that we will be having a virtual orientation as well before you arrive in the US. So that will be on Friday, July 12th. And that is just an opportunity for us to touch base with you, answer any questions you have before you are departing for the US. And also, we can talk through a little bit more about what it will look like to go through customs and immigration, what to pack, things like that. And then I don't have the event section of the Oaks course up just yet, but we do have some very exciting programming that we will be offering for all of you in the fall. Starting off right when you arrive, as I mentioned, we do pick you up at the airport and bring you to campus. And throughout that first week that you're here, we'll coordinate group dinners with the international students and the Cougar ambassadors. Those are optional, of course. We understand some of you might be a little tired or jet lagged, but we want to give you that opportunity to connect and experience it, the dining hall for the first time, or some local surrounding restaurants as well. We will also bring you to Target, which is a very large store here in the US where you'll be able to purchase any essentials that you may have been unable to pack. So, bedding, shampoo, conditioner, whatever it is that you need, we'll bring you there as well and introduce you to some good Southern barbecue. We also have a beach day. So we know most of you are coming here excited to visit the beach. So we'll go ahead and check that off your to-do list that first weekend that you're here. So we, get sandwiches and we all go out to the beach and have a great day. And we'll also do exciting things like a harbor cruise, city walking tours, campus tours, all sorts of really fun things. And then together with International Club, we have a really great schedule of programming. So excited to see all of you here soon, and ready to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Stephanie. And thank you, Alex, again, for providing your insight as well. I just put in the chat a link to the housing Q&A session that I mentioned. Again, this is a really great resource if you are planning on living on campus to get familiar with that process. I don't see any questions in the chat, so we will wrap it up and let you go at this time. But we're really excited to welcome you to campus, and hearing Stephanie talk about the airport pickups and all the activities that we have planned during your first week here. It got me excited again. It's always the best part when you first arrive. Everyone is always jet lagged and tired. Sometimes luggage is lost, but it's okay. We all get through it, and we have a great week of welcome for you to acclimate you to your new beautiful city of Charleston. All right, well, thank you, everybody, and we really look forward to welcoming you as a future CFC student. Thanks, everyone. Bye.